This is fur. After we collect the fur at the slaughterhouse, we uniformly transport it to our raw material warehouse. Before transportation, we first cure the fur with industrial salt. At this stage, we uniformly refer to it as rawhide. Next, I will show you what the entire process from rawhide to tanned leather looks like. The rawhides are lifted by a hoist into our industrial water buckets, and then the industrial salt on the rawhides is washed clean. After washing, the rawhides are then conveyed via a conveyor belt to another piece of machinery. This is a fleshing machine. It removes the meat that is stuck to the rawhides. There are also workers using knives to cut off the leg parts and scraps of the rawhides. After that, the rawhides continue to be conveyed via the conveyor belt into the next machine. This machine is intended to remove the hair and fat from the rawhides. This is a splitting machine. Its purpose is to cut off the excess meat. We move on to the next stage. After the rawhides are transported to this machine, various chemical materials such as chromium will be added to the rawhides to restore the rawhides to the texture they had when they were on the animal. Because after going through the previous dehydration and degreasing processes, the rawhides have lost their original elasticity. After the rawhides complete the softening process in this equipment, the softened rawhides and industrial wastewater will be discharged. The rawhides will then be transported to this workshop. Here we will perform a secondary softening process on the rawhides. During the secondary softening process, we need to add more materials into it. For example, to increase its fullness, to increase its elasticity, to increase the fluffiness and tensile strength of the fibers inside it, and restore the moisture content of the rawhides. Therefore, we need to add a large amount of materials in this stage here. The most important thing is the addition of pigments. No matter what color of leather blank you want, at this point it needs to be added. The purpose is to make the top and bottom surfaces of the leather blank the same color. Now we arrive at the finished blue leather warehouse. The function of blue leather is that we can adjust the leather blank to any color and thickness. For example, we can use the original thicknesses of 4.0 and 3.0. We can also use a medium thickness around 2.0. We can also use a thin thickness around 1.2. The process is from this point onward. It is the workshop for dyeing leather blanks and finishing their thickness. We have now arrived at the first stage of the post-finishing process. This is the damage repair stage. I'll show everyone around. The white part here is the damage repair cream. We adjust the leather blanks by applying the cream to the uneven parts and then polishing them with machinery. In fact, there are many methods to use in this stage. The first method is to not perform any damage repair at all. The product made through this process is full grain leather. The second method is to leave the damage unrepaired but lightly buff the surface. The leather blank produced by this process is called semi-full grain leather. The last method is to continuously polish and repair damages. The product produced in this way is ordinary top grain leather. Now, we have arrived at the workshop with the leather grinding machines. The purpose is to grind and smooth the surface of the leather blanks after being processed in this way. The leather surface has a silky smooth touch. Of course, the products processed in this workshop, we usually make them into semi-full grain leather or finished leather. We are now entering the workshop for the next stage. Here, our employees will apply the base coat to the leather blanks. The purpose is to ensure the consistency of the leather's color. It is worth mentioning that full grain leather and semi-full grain leather are not coated with slurry manually. We will choose to apply the base coat using a machine. For all products, we will also apply a protective layer treatment at the final stage. We call this the varnish coating process. The purpose is to isolate oxygen and enhance the hand feel. We are now entering the workshop for leather blank embossing. We can design various patterns on this roller. Generally speaking, corrected grain leather needs to be pressed with various textures using this machine of ours. Of course, the crocodile pattern and lizard pattern you want can all be created here. The area ahead is our leather blank drying workshop. We clamp the leather blanks onto these clamping plates and then send them into this drying machine. After the leather blanks are dried, we have arrived at the final stage. The machine behind me is the equipment used to measure the size of leather. After that, they will be packaged and become the genuine leather that is easily accessible in our daily lives.